Give me 1 second. I'm almost ready. Almost there. I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful and fantastic night tonight, morning, or afternoon, whichever it may be. Thank you so much for being here. And before I go there, I want to acknowledge you. So let me.
You sure?
Yes. Yeah, that's already done. So let me acknowledge you, Keith.
Acknowledge me.
And Kelly Lavoie.
Acknowledge me.
Spirit Stalker.
Acknowledge me.
Melanie.
Acknowledge me.
Christina.
Acknowledge me.
Mickey G.
Acknowledge me.
Did I say Spirit Stalker already?
Yes. Your brain's not working.
My brain is not working, so I'm gonna do it again.
Acknowledge me.
Boomer D, how are you doing, sir?
Acknowledge me.
I'm hoping that you guys are having a great night. I'm kind of behind a little bit. I was trying to find Krista and Brandy's. I'm still trying to find their. I have Brandy, or no, this is Krista's.
Give it to Krista.
So this is what I'll do. So let me get Krista. And then hopefully. And then could you text Krista and let her know? Because I don't know how to get a hold of Brandy. So how are you all doing tonight? Boomer said, hey, hey, hey. Krista, you don't have a phone number? I thought you did. Yeah. Mom of an Angel, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
So if Krista and Brandy happen to come in the chat, please let me know. PSU Eden, how are you doing, sir?
Acknowledge me.
Little Patty, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Melanie,
Acknowledge me.
thank you guys so much for being here. I'm also hoping that by chance you did hit that like button. I really do appreciate that too. You don't? How did we get out of them before?
Your messenger.
Was it me on Messenger? Do I have him on Messenger? Let me look. We'll take a look here. I am so sorry, you guys. I've had so much going on today. And I should have got my priorities straight the last time. Let me see. It was on Messenger. So let me see. Because I looked on, that's not Messenger. I looked on Messenger.
What then?
Oh, here it is. I've, uh, there.
Good.
Okay. I am so sorry, Krista. I know you're watching, and I just sent the link. I don't have Brandy's though. So that is one person I don't have. So hopefully Krista will be here shortly. My mistake. I kind of messed this all up. I call myself being on top of something. I'm on top of nothing. So yeah, I've had a lot going on this week. You know, yeah, dealing with my mom passing and
PS.
but yes, hello PSU and everybody here. Tales told in the dark. How are you doing, Cassie?
Acknowledge me.
I want you guys to do me a favor. All you guys here that has a channel, I want you to put your links in so that everybody can come by and say hi. That would be so wonderful. I just got hold on here.
Go to Zoom.
I think that was here.
The
No.
Zoom.
No, not yet.
Why does it say one?
Why does it say that? Is that a message? Oh,
No, here.
oh, I think that's because I think that's my billing cycle.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go on it. Like, we really need to be checking my billing cycle right now. Believe me, I know. Oh, I erased it. So never mind. But we do have somebody here. Finally, thank God. I am so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you did not know who this wonderful, wonderful person is, you will know today. Pam Syme, how are you doing there, ma'am?
Acknowledge me.
And Janet Sarlo, how are you doing?
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being here. This one. And I want to give a proper welcome to our good friend, Krista. Thank you so much for being here for Blondes and Boos Paranormal. Let me give you this proper welcome.
Welcome to the show.
That was Steve Harvey. My bad. That was the wrong one. I had got to label these. Oh my God. So yeah, here we go. Here's the proper welcome right here. You pointed the wrong thing. So everybody, if you did not know who Blondes and Boos was, you know, this is one and a half. I don't have Brandy's link though. I want to send her a
I
link.
sent it to Brandy too.
Oh,
So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
But at least we got one half of them here.
yeah, I was waiting for the link and I didn't get it. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do here.
You know what? I sent it to your Instagram.
Oh, okay, because I don't ever get on Instagram.
You know what? I don't either. I don't even know why I have Instagram. I don't even get on it. I just post pictures on there, of the family, and that's about it. As far as doing, messages,
Right?
you're like the first. Actually, you're the second message I sent on that Instagram.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I never really use Instagram.
I don't either. I have it actually, it's connected to my Facebook. So it automatically, my Facebook stuff automatically goes there, but that's it. I don't ever get on it or
Gotcha.
so yeah, sorry for being late. I was waiting for the link.
No, that's my fault because I've sent it to the wrong. I sent you the link to the wrong place, and I
No
was trying
problem.
ever to find Brandy.
Gotcha.
That's the thing that was holding me up. And plus, we had so much going on. If people knew how it is in this house, we have 4 boys or 3 boys with special needs.
hmm
It's very poetic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was gonna name the channel at first the Loud Family. Because it would have been politically correct because it is loud in here.
I hear you. I hear you.
The boys overtalk each other. They like to hear their music loud. Well, actually, I was gonna say it's just Manny, but no, it's actually all the boys. And so we were gonna call ourselves the Loud Family. And I looked it up, and there's already people got that name.
Oh wow.
That's why I had to take a name because there's also a bunch of Eddie and Jens. And I was like, well, I can't say just Eddie and Jen. So let's just say something that's just right out of the blue. I put Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, and then some.
That's perfect.
And as soon as you put in Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, our picture comes up.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
But yeah, I may just shorten it. But I do, because I know you're a busy person.
You're good.
And I have a list of questions for you because I think you got something going on tonight too, right?
No.
Okay, I thought maybe you did.
That was last night. I had a investigation last night. So I just today I have a paranormal hangover. You know how that is, staying up all night investigating and then you're dead the next day. That's me today.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I would love to go to those. I and my wife Jen, we are so glad that we had the pleasure of meeting you. And it wasn't just once, but now twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I take those blessings any way that I can get them, and because they don't come much.
Yeah.
And we wanted so bad to go to the next one that you guys are going to with Tex, but I'm still trying to get our transmission fixed on our truck. So
understand. Totally understand.
It's going to be one of those, that we got.
I'm sure we'll be back in Texas next year, so we'll look you up for sure.
Thank you so much. Jason Finch, how are you doing, sir? Let me, because I know you're waiting for your warm welcome here. So let me give you your warm welcome, Jason, so you don't have to wait no more.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, you have been acknowledged. See, all of you have been acknowledged. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you guys share us out, and make sure you guys also, if any of the mods can do me a favor and put Blondes and Boos link in the description box. I'm also not in the description box, in the chat. At the end of this, I'm gonna have the link in the description box, and that way everybody can go by, check them out, show them some love.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And I'm gonna get this started, and hopefully Brandy does come in. I really hope she does. But I'm gonna start with you first, since you're already here. I got my list right here.
Well, if not, just have Brandy on by herself, so no problem.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, she'll come on. She will. I know she works a lot too, and
I know
her mom's been in and out of the hospital, and she's had a lot going on too. So
yeah, see, as a matter of fact, Jim put it in there. I'm gonna pin it.
Thanks.
I am going to pin your channel in the link. That's not pinning it. I went on it. So let me try that again. Let me pin that.
There you go.
There, I pinned it on there. So everybody go by this Blondes and Boos right there. Check them out. You will love the live streams. I do. I try to get on it every chance I get.
We appreciate that.
We appreciate you. Let me ask you, if you had to pick one,
Mhm.
would you rather spend the night in a haunted prison, a haunted hospital, or a haunted doll museum?
Good question. For me, I think, oh gosh, that's a hard one. I would say I'm not scared of dolls, so that would be pretty easy for me to do. I know a lot of people have fear of dolls, but I don't. So that would be easy. So we'll knock that one off. Something that would give me the creep factor. Let's
Mhm.
go with the haunted prison would be, I think, because I've stayed at Missouri State Penitentiary. We've done that, and those are creepy. Those are creepy places.
Yes, they are. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We never stayed at a creepy place, but
No,
we
we lived
visit them and we've lived them. You
Yeah.
know, we've had those luxuries.
scared of whole jail before. Remember when Ghost
Oh, that's
Mafia
right. When
was?
our friend Ghost Mafia was alive, we went
Mhm.
to Moundsville, uh,
Okay.
the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went there. As a matter of fact, we have a video on that, and it was interesting. It was
Oh
really
yeah, for sure.
cool and everything.
Absolutely.
What's the funniest thing that you, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. What's the funniest thing that has ever happened to you during an investigation?
Funniest thing. So I think I've talked about this before. We had a night at the Ray County Museum, and we had a night of investigating. And my friend Kathy, she has an apartment there, so we always stay there in the apartment with her. And I always have a cot. Brandy has her uh, air mattress, and then Kathy was on her bed, and then her dog was between me and her on its dog bed. And so I had felt something underneath my leg, and I felt like something was touching me, and I thought it was a ghost. And this was probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I sat up and I'm like, get out of here. You guys are not allowed in the apartment. And, so I'm yelling at this ghost. Well, Kathy, or not Kathy, it was Brandy. She started laughing and she says, it's one of the cats. Kathy has 5 cats. They're all rescue cats, and they're all there at the museum. And
Mhm.
so it was the cat was underneath the cot, and it was tickling my leg. And so I thought it was a ghost, but it was the cat. So fast forward a couple hours, I had to get up and use the restroom. And so I did that, got up to use the restroom, and came back, and I stepped over Jack, the dog. And at that time, he lifted his head up, and he's a medium-sized dog. And
Uh-huh.
boom, I went down to the ground. I broke my toe. It was quite an evening. So because of me, Kathy nor Brandy, neither one of them got any sleep.
Now, see, we have 3 rescue cats also.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
think our cats are special needs because we have one with one eye,
Uh-huh.
one that's blind, basically, and
Mhm.
the other one is just a schizophrenic. As soon as you your hands, he jumps. You know,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
crazy boy makes him jump. You know,
Yeah, yeah. So
and
it's funny though, because I was so tired, and I really, I felt it on my leg, but it was actually the cat underneath my cot. And it
Mhm.
felt like something was rubbing my leg, but it was actually the cat. It's funny now we can laugh about it, but
That's funny.
yeah.
Boomer said, "Broken toe ain't funny." No, it's not.
Oh, it hurts.
Said, what did you say about the haunted doll? The heck with the haunted dolls?
The hell was
We have some dolls ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we feel you on that. Our dolls, though, they're not negative, they're more positive. Because if they
Yeah,
were negative, they wouldn't be in the house.
sure. Sure.
So
I hear you.
they're more on the positive side.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people just have a fear of dolls in general, and I don't. They don't
Yeah.
bother me.
Some people just have a fear of clowns.
Yep, that don't bother me either.
I told them, well, they'd hate to be around my boys. No, just kidding, of course. If ghosts could leave Yelp reviews for investigators, what do you think yours would say?
Well, that's a great question. If they could leave reviews on Yelp, what would they say? I would say that I'm passionate. Um, and I treat the ghost with respect, just like I do people, because, I wouldn't, want anybody yelling at my loved ones or, taunting my loved ones. So always treat them with respect. We always do that. And we try to help them, we don't try to like cross them over or anything, but maybe they just need to get their story out too.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. And
Mhm.
that's what we have our good friend Christina from Christina's Son Ghost Squad. She does a lot of crossing over.
Yeah.
So, and
Mhm.
she's really good at what she does too.
Yeah.
And that's why, Christina, I told you I sent you a link. And if you don't want to come up here, fine, be like that. Um, do you think, or let me rephrase this. Do you ever scare each other more than the spirits do? Do you and Brandon tend to scare each other?
Not really. We don't like allow, like, even when we do investigations with the public, we always announce we don't allow like jump scares or anything,
Right,
because I mean people their adrenaline's up anyway. So we don't want anybody running or, tripping and falling or anything like that. So we
right.
don't do anything like that. Mm-mm.
Now, I'm gonna do a little paranormal deep dive with you on this one.
Okay.
What was the very first paranormal experience that hooked you into this world?
Okay, so this is many, many, many years ago. I was in high school, and my high school was actually at the time it was brand new. And I saw a man in the hallway, and I said something to my friend Kelly about the man, and she looked at me like I was crazy. There wasn't a man. And so that was actually I know now it was a ghost that was there at the school. And nobody else seen it, it was just me, but he looked as plain as day as like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And so fast forward many years, I think my grandma, a lot of it, she was into the weird stuff, and she had crystals, and she had things like that. And I found out after she died, which is unfortunate, that she was into like Reiki and healing of the hands and things like that. So I think a lot of my influence was from my grandma, honestly.
Really?
Hmm. And I think to this day, well, I know to this day, like I've had people tell me, like when I do investigations and stuff, she surrounds me.
And I believe that too.
Hmm.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
um, because as you know, my mom just recently passed away,
Yep. I'm sorry to hear that.
and I still feel her around me because
Hmm.
I couldn't be there,
Hmm.
passed, and I feel her now around
Oh
me.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
uh, here's another one. Have you ever investigated somewhere that made you say, "Nope, I'm not going back there ever again"?
Not really, just because I do this. My thing is I got into this to help people. And so I do prefer the private cases of helping people. So like I've done some scary things, at some private locations that, kind of make you question, but then I question, I tell myself why I'm there. So
Right,
for me, no, any of the big locations, that I do partake in, it's always for a cause. So, excuse me, it's to, raise money for that location, because without our history and our,
right,
our locations, they're gone. And
right,
so I will do them then. And a lot of times, even when I do investigations, unless someone, wants me to ghost hunt with them, a lot of times I'm just there to answer questions, and I walk around, make sure everybody's doing okay, that kind of thing. I really don't investigate a whole lot at those locations, unless it's sitting outside looking for Bigfoot like I did last night.
right. As a matter of fact, yeah, and you know what? I was going to ask you, did Brandy go with you on that one?
Not last night. No, she didn't. She wasn't able to make last
I
night's.
was going to ask you, did you want to tell a little bit of what you did last night?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah.
Yes, I think we would all like to hear that. Would you guys like to hear what she did last night? I mean, nothing bad, nothing nasty or nothing. I want y'all to
There's
just,
nothing bad happened last night. No,
you know,
nothing bad at all.
Andrew, how are you doing, sir? Thank you so much for being here.
Acknowledge me.
So is that a yes, everybody? Nobody's saying I want you all to say hello to everybody. Spirits, everybody said yes, sure.
All
Okay,
right.
yes.
So our team has exclusive rights to a place called Emmaus Asylum, and it started out. It's got some Civil War history, and then it goes up to it was a woman's college. It was a seminary. It was an actual insane asylum, and then it ended with being a nursing home. So it's filled with lots and lots of history. And it's also, at one time it was on almost 900 acres. Now the farm is down to 300 acres. There's several cemeteries on the property, things like that. So within about a mile to 2 miles as a crow flies, there is a road that I nicknamed Dogman Road because there was a Dogman encounter. So I just, kind of nicknamed that myself. And so, and that's been several years back. And then, we got this place. And so our team, we hold events there, and it's to help to keep the doors open and preserve history, so I was there last night, and we investigated, we have a teammate, Terry, who has what's called a God's helmet. And so, several people, I sat in on several God's helmet sessions. I actually posted a video on Blondes and Boos, so people can get in and they can watch. I think it's like a 12-minute video of one girl doing the God's helmet. And then, I had some other friends there and taught them how to do the Estes method. So we did that. And then it was late. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And a friend of mine, Jay, he's into the cryptozoology also. And we've done some Bigfoot things out there, and we've captured some howls, and we've heard tree knocks and things like that. So he's like, let's go to the woods. So there's right behind the asylum is a picnic table, and it backs to the woods. And so several of us went out there last night, and we were doing some knocking, and we actually played the Sierra sounds through, a microphone, and we actually got a howl back, which was really cool because we've gotten that. That's the third one that we've actually got. Unfortunately, I was not recording at the time, but we all heard it. So that was really cool. And Jay, I didn't hear it, but he had went down further to where the house came from, and he heard across the road there were some tree knocks going on the other side of the road. So that was kind of cool. So that kind of ended our night.
That is so cool, though. I would look there. I want to hear things knocking besides our door.
If you guys are ever in the St. Louis area, open invitation. I would be glad to take you all over there.
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going right on our bucket list.
Yeah, we have exclusive rights, so we can go anytime we want. We just let the owners know we're out there.
Let me ask you this. Do you think spirits are aware they're being investigated, or are we just eavesdropping on their world?
I think both, just because you have residual energy, which is just, residual hauntings. It's just a repeat. It's like on a loop, a haunting on a loop. So I don't believe that they understand, because they don't acknowledge you or anything like that. But then you have your intelligent hauntings who answer questions and they, interact with people. So I think there's both.
Boomer, we was talking about she was in St. Louis.
Yeah, it's in Marthasville, Missouri is where this asylum is.
And so we want to go there, and don't worry, Boomer, we want to see you too. So we won't leave you out. What's the one piece of equipment you can't live without? And what's one of the, actually, let me reword that one. And what's one you think is totally overrated?
Okay. So for me, I personally don't use equipment. I think your body is your best piece of equipment. Everybody's body reacts differently to the paranormal. So, I don't care if it's your big toe is itching, or you get the goosebumps, or you feel like you've walked through, a spider web. That's your body acknowledging that, there's something there. And I think everybody, has a little bit of intuition, like, if something doesn't feel right, or the feeling of being watched. So, pay attention to your body. So I personally don't use equipment. I did last night just because I was showing some friends how to do the Estes method. But if anything, I think that is the one thing that I do like the most is that where, you're asking questions. And for those that don't know, you have on noise canceling headphones, you have on a blindfold, and you're listening to, the white noise of a ghost box. And so, you're just saying whatever you hear this person is. Well, then you have your people on the outside, they're asking questions, but they can't hear what, the person sitting there can't hear what you're asking. So for me, that's pretty much validation on a lot of it, because, like last night we were getting intelligent answers. They were answering our questions, or they would turn around, like, we said, like, how old are you? And then she would say, well, how old are you? Like they turned around and asked, so it was kind of cool. And
Yeah,
so
I
that
like
for
to do
me
that.
is validation, when something like that happens, because, she could not hear what I was asking. So, but the most overrated piece of equipment, I have to say, is the flashlights. And I will tell you why. I don't believe the flashlights are legit, because people will just unscrew the end of it and
Mm-hmm.
then let it sit there. Well, that can be manipulated. You walk on the floor, your flashlight's going to come on. So a lot of people use those, and I think they're false positives. If you want to use a flashlight and get a true paranormal experience where, where the flashlight is legit, get a touch flashlight, because you actually have to put pressure on it to touch it for it
Right.
to, come on. So that is my, I would say, most overrated piece of equipment is definitely the flashlight, unscrewing the end. I hate
Uh,
that. And I always tell people, those are false positives, because you
you
have one
know,
on the table, you move the table and it comes on.
yes, and one of the ways, like what you just said, I do the same thing. We use our natural senses.
Yep.
Because your natural senses don't go wrong. That's something I said a long time ago. And the person that taught me that, though, actually is Barry and Brad Clean.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
have to give a huge shout out to them. I'm gonna try to have them on here too,
They're the
because
best.
they
Yep.
are the best and they taught me a lot.
Oh yeah. I've learned a lot from them over the years as well. Yeah.
So now when I do,
Investigated with them. Mhm.
right, see, I wish I could.
Mhm.
But now that I do things the way they've done it.
Oh yeah.
A
Yep.
lot of things I do, they've done it the same way.
Sure.
Spirit Stalker asked a question. She said, "Have you ever heard a whisper in your ear or actual voices?"
Yes. And so actually, when I realized that I had some abilities,
Mm-hmm.
I heard my name and it sounded like a Chinese man saying Krista real quick in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so actually that's how I started realizing that, something was going on. And honestly, I thought I was crazy at the time, that I
Right.
was hearing voices and stuff. So yes, I have.
Yeah, because some of us have that natural gift. We just don't
Right.
know until we actually go out and experience it.
Exactly.
So,
Yep. Yep.
my wife and my boys and my daughter, they have that natural gift.
Hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that that we see or hear dead
Sure.
people and all this all the time, but it's your body's feeling. Remember how people used to say you get that term bad vibe?
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's where that term came from because if like for an example, and I did this theory once. I purposely stared at somebody at a shopping center just
Hmm.
to see if they would look around to see if somebody's watching them. And they did.
Yep. Oh yeah. It works. It's true.
It does work,
Hmm. Yeah.
and so I've always used my natural senses.
Yep.
When I go out and I do spirit box sessions at
Hmm.
cemeteries, and I tell people I go to cemeteries because if I have my family with me, I'm not endangering them. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna go to no haunted location or anything like that and take my boys. No,
Right.
because
Right.
they're very susceptible to
Yep.
attachment
Absolutely. Yeah.
because of their disability. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that, but the safest place to go is a cemetery.
Yeah. I actually have a good friend who, he's a really well-known, very good psychic medium, and he finds cemeteries peaceful.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
I've even said a few times that it's not really that cemeteries are not haunted
Mhm.
because they're too peaceful to be haunted.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
here's my thoughts on cemeteries too, and this is just my opinion, but
mhm.
I feel like not every cemetery is haunted, because I feel like your body goes on, your soul goes on, you're in heaven where, most
Mm,
people go, or hell, one or the other. So it's just your shell that's there. And so when there is like a haunting at a cemetery, I don't always think that that's a nice spirit, because I feel like, cemeteries can be sad. It's all negative adjectives. You people
Right.
are there, they're depressed, they're crying. There's nothing happy about a cemetery, really.
No, it's
And
not.
so that can open up doors to the negative, where they
Yes.
can portray as something else. So
Right.
there's a lot of people say every cemetery is haunted. I don't believe that. I don't.
No, and I don't either. And that's why I go to cemeteries, because you can feel the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Of people that have been there that had to have services. And
Yeah.
you feel it's like, an after effect.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then you'll get spirits that come through and they want to talk because they're lost. They don't understand where they are. And
Oh
some of
yeah.
them
Yep.
understand.
Some of
It's
them.
just that they're lonely. They need somebody to talk to. We're the messengers to get their message out.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
I let them know that we come out of love and respect. We mean no
Oh
disrespect.
yeah. Yep.
Because I tell people the way you were in life, you're going to be the same way in death. So
Right.
very nice in life, you're going to be very nice in death. But if you're mean
Absolutely.
in
You nailed
life,
it.
same thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nothing changes. The only thing that changes is your environment.
Yep, that's true. That's true. So if you're nasty in death, it doesn't mean, a lot of people say, oh, I have a demon in my house. No, demons are there, but they're few and far between. So, you have a nasty human spirit that walked the earth at one time, and they can be just as nasty too. They can scratch, they can, do things, and just like the D word can.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
How are
our
you, Krista, by the way?
there's
How
this
are you? It's good to see you.
You too. Um, I used to talking about cemeteries. My mother loved, we were poor, and my mother loved the cemetery for some reason. So when I was younger, we lived right across the street from a cemetery called St.
Mhm.
Michael, and she would bring my sister and I there for picnics. And she liked to sit on this one woman grave who had like a bench as a tombstone, like a stone bench. And we would go there and we would picnic and whatever.
Mhm.
And, you know, uh, my mother would always talk, but we didn't know, actually, we were very young.
Yeah.
But even, one day somebody asked, oh, where were you when we were coming back? And my sister goes, we were at the carnival. And my sister used to call the cemetery the carnival, like it was a fair,
Yeah.
like that's how comfortable, like, and we went like, I don't know,
Mhm.
3 or 4 times a week. We
Oh
always
wow.
went to see that lady. My
Yeah.
mother's now buried in that cemetery, and I live 2 blocks away from it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I went there um, to see her. And
Mhm.
then I went to see my uncle, who I never met. Like, he's my great uncle. He was my mother's grandfather's brother.
Mhm.
So he died in the 60s. I never met him. So I went to go speak to him. I said maybe he'll come by and say hello, since I'm like
Mhm.
literally giving my energy to speak to him. And that's when I figure they come. When you're there talking to them,
Right.
addressing them, they might come see you because they know you're there, not that
Right.
they're hanging out there waiting for you.
Sure.
Because they'd be waiting, because even though I'm 2 blocks away, I don't go very often, right?
Right.
So, so I turned on the spirit box thinking maybe I could hear his voice or something. And my uncle is in the Greek section, and my mother's side of the family is Greek. I don't speak Greek, but I
Mhm.
know, like, some words. So
Mhm.
I'm using the spirit box and I'm talking. And literally from the side of me, I know somebody's standing there. And over the spirit box, this Greek guy, older guy, tells me to go to hell in Greek. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
okay, am I bothering you?
Yeah.
you know, it was so clear. And I was like, holy crap. And I was like, uh, I just
Mhm.
came to talk to my uncle. And then, if somebody wants to cross over, I'll do that later, get with my
Sure.
guide. I go home, and that night happens to be an off night for a crossover. I do it 4 nights a week, so I need a break
Mhm.
the other 3 days, right? um, so silly me that I went to the cemetery on my day off, but I figured I'll do it
Mhm.
the next day. I went to lay down. That same Greek guy, as I just, when you're just falling asleep, that same voice told me to go to hell, but in English said my name right in my ear. I fucking flipped out. I
Oh,
jumped
no.
up. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, asshole?
Um,
I was so mad. He scared the crap out of me. And I'm like, what? What? You didn't insult me enough at the cemetery? You came to my house?
Right.
But he just wanted to cross over. He's like, and I have my wife. I'm like, that's nice. You see, I'm going
Yeah.
to sleep tomorrow. Like, I
Mhm.
was so mad.
Yep.
uh, PSU said a lot of folks in the cemetery are there patiently waiting for Jesus to come and resurrect them in the last judgment. That's a possibility. I mean,
See? I think a lot of people too, some people maybe, they've done things in their life form that they're afraid to cross over because maybe they're afraid they won't go to heaven,
true.
and so I think a lot of people are stuck here because of that.
Yes, I agree with you. Um, Here's another one for you. Um, which case or location has changed the way you see the paranormal the most?
Hmm. Oh gosh. Hmm. I would say, probably my first negative haunting, which was a demonic case. Um, and I've talked about this before where a guy's two sons had died. They were in a police chase. They were 17, 18 years old. And they died in a car accident, and both of them. That really, really changed me because that opened my eyes to, number one, the negative world of the bad things where things do attach to, once again, all the negative adjectives, the sorrow and depression, like the man, lost his wife, he lost his job, it was awful. And I can't say I couldn't blame him if I'd lose a child too. And
Yeah,
and so he that one really changed me. That was very touching. That one, I gotta say that set a lot of boundaries for me.
yeah, I probably
Mm.
would be too. To be
Yeah,
honest.
and I questioned a lot of things too, but that's the one that actually I will say, was the first one that I felt like that I actually helped somebody because he also had a 13-year-old daughter at home. And, just that child listening to her and being scared and, talking about her brothers and, that's one where I really felt like I actually did something good.
Yeah,
So,
and I
mhm,
think you did too. Just
thank
by
you.
us giving them a voice, I
Yeah.
think they really appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
Because
for sure.
when you're doing a spirit box session, they know what your intent is.
Hmm.
Because we're balls of energy. Well, this is just temporary housing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once we leave this, we're just a ball of energy. And
Yeah.
they're the same. So sometimes I've noticed this happen where I would do a spirit box session and they would actually give me my answer before I even asked a question.
Hmm. That's cool.
And that's crazy because
Yeah.
I would tell Jen, like, wow, I was just getting ready to ask him so and so and so. He just answered it for me.
Right.
And so has that ever happened to you where you would ask a question, but you've already gotten your answer before you even asked the question?
Not really that I can think of, but for me, if that would happen, that's legit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting ready to ask a question. So that tells you a lot right there because number one, they're reading your mind, if you
Right.
haven't even asked it yet. So, and then number two, they just answered you. So
Because
I've never had that happen, but that sounds like that'd be pretty cool though.
it happened to me, it happened to us quite a few times,
Hmm.
but then a friend of ours, Drina and Mike Paranormal,
Hmm.
it happened to them on a video they just recently did. They didn't really
Wow.
catch it until I said something to them and said,
Yeah.
hey, man, you need to check their EVP because
Hmm.
they answered your question before you even asked. Glenn, how are you doing, sir, from across the pond?
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for being here. And Regina, thank you so much for being here also, RR's Adventures.
Acknowledge me.
Let me
Yeah,
ask,
I love when a lot of people don't believe in the spirit boxes. I'm not so much on the apps and stuff.
Agreed.
I do really believe the SB7 can,
Mhm.
those radios can pick up in the white noise what
Mhm.
it has to pick up. Because I've never sometimes, the clearest, I had a whole conversation. I went to a place called Katie's of Smithtown, and it's a bar in Long Island that the ghost adventurers went to.
Mhm.
But my daughter and I were outside the bar. We went in, but it was too loud, and you'd like, what are you going to hear in here, you know? So we went outside, and 2 doors down from the bar was this restaurant. And so I had the spirit box on, and I'm like, I wonder if that restaurant's any good. And literally a few seconds later, and I tried to, a few seconds, I said, I wonder if that restaurant's any good. And I tried to pronounce it. Of course, I said it wrong. The spirit then comes on the spirit box, says the name of the restaurant, and says, oh, yeah, it's good. And
Oh,
the other one
wow.
says, I like the meat.
Wow.
I was like, I said to my daughter, are you freaking hearing it? Like they're talking, they're having a whole
Right.
conversation.
Very cool.
I'm like, it can't be the radio. That
Right.
like, how would it know that I'm standing
Mhm.
in front of this restaurant and I'm asking this question? There was one other time where I did one in a cemetery, and I asked, can I see you on my camera? And the woman says, yeah, 6 feet down. I'm like, oh, you got
Oh,
jokes.
wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, you got jokes. That was a crazy cemetery, but yeah, they told me everything. I named it the drama cemetery. They were like, this one killed this one. I didn't mean to do it. Do you know what he did with the credit card? I was like, why are you telling me your I'm not looking for that. Like, yeah, that one,
That's
that's a crazy
awesome.
cemetery.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No. You go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for y'all to get quiet.
No, it's good. Oh, good.
I'll ask this question real quick. Um, Actually, there was one I wanted to ask you from the heart. My boys are very fond of you.
Same, likewise.
And
The kids.
I don't think you realize they watch you a lot. They don't comment. They
Mhm.
don't comment because they've had some bad experiences. They would comment on someone's video and they would get kicked off or something like that, because and so they don't comment. And like one of them was, well, actually they're upstairs watching you now.
Mhm.
Usually they sit right here on the big screen TV.
Yeah.
And but when they see someone that they've met before, they shy away
Mhm.
on the TV and they watch privately.
Mhm.
Um, how do you feel about people with special needs
Mhm.
coming to the channel?
Oh my goodness. Like the, I don't say, if somebody has special needs, or we all have our own little problems. So they're just people, everybody's family. So everybody is welcome in our chat. And I have great moderators. And if there is somebody in there that says something out of line to one of our guests, one of the people in chat, to Brandy or myself, they're gone. They're booted. They have our full permission to ban them from our channel. So everybody's welcome. Everybody, I don't care, special needs or not. It doesn't matter. We're all human. We're all looking for the same answers. And we adore your boys. And so I just, I don't say that, they're special needs or anything. They're people just like the rest of us, and they're into this. And I appreciate that,
Thank you. I appreciate that because there's a few channels that we've watched
Mhm.
and I myself have watched where I see people that's in there that special needs
Mhm.
and their moderators like really dog them out.
Yeah, see, that's wrong. No, no, not my moderators. I have the best moderators. I really do. My moderators are genuinely, they're real, they're good people, and
Mhm.
they treat everybody with respect, as just like Brandy and I do. So it doesn't matter. We understand that, people sometimes have off the wall questions, and that's okay too, and
Mhm.
comments and things like that. But I feel like we're all family. If you've been in my chat, you'll see, if somebody loses a parent or even a pet went to the vet, everybody, oh, I'm praying for your dog or whatever, I mean, we have the best people. We really do. And they're not just, people in chat. They're our friends, you know, they really are. And we're blessed to call you guys our friends too, you know.
And we love hearing that. Like GSS videos, these special needs, Jason Finch is special needs. And by the way, Glenn, if you can, that would be a blessing. Thank you so much. We would love to see you. And man, I would love to see you. And you got invited to Omar's wedding. That's even fantastic. And there's somebody else that's new that just came in here. Carl Pellering. Thank you so much for being here. And let me give you the proper welcome.
Acknowledge me.
And Greg Ogles.
Yeah, Greg Ogles is a very good friend too.
Yes, he
We
is.
adore him. So he's a good guy too.
Yes, he is. And Greg, I'm hoping that you're doing a lot better. I really do. God bless you. And let me give Carl here a nice blue wrench. Compliments of us. Because like we're like the Olive Garden. When you hear your family,
Yep, absolutely.
you
Love
know,
that. I love that. Yep.
oh my one of our cats is right behind Jen,
Aw.
literally in the chair.
Aw.
He we call him Fang Face. He's half blind.
Aw.
Hang out of his mouth, and they look like fangs.
Aw.
GSS video, we are doing great. I hope you are too. Christian Berg, so thank you so much for being here.
Acknowledge
We
me.
have a lot of people here from across the pond, and so I have another question for you, and
Sure.
that is, if you could team up with any paranormal investigators, living or passed on, who would it be?
Mm. Okay, I'll do one living and one past.
Okay.
The one that's passed would have to be Hans Holzer.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think the work that he did was phenomenal.
yes, it is.
And I would love to have investigated with him. And then the ones living, honestly, I adore them. I watch everything that comes out new with them. I subscribe to the one's YouTube channel, and they crack me up. I love them. And that's the Ghost Brothers.
Yes, and I am gonna have Dalen on here one day.
Are you?
Yeah,
Oh my
because
gosh, she's great.
yeah, we've talked from time to time. One of the things I use the Phasma box.
Hmm.
He told me to get that.
Yeah.
He's watched a couple of our videos and he said, dude, you are so on point with your,
Yeah.
but he wanted me to use what he uses. I don't have an iPhone.
Hmm.
So I got this one app. It's called Dead Wave. He
Yeah.
told me to use that. And he said the only app that he would use is that if he
Mhm.
had to use an app.
Yeah.
Or he would use a program which was a Phasma box.
Right, right. He puts out great content too. You know,
Yes,
he
he does.
goes to the cemeteries.
Yes.
And he will speak, to people who have passed, and sometimes it's celebrities, sometimes it's someone who's had a awful, death or things like that. And he
Right.
has some really cool responses through there.
Yes,
So
he does. He
yeah.
told me he watched one that I did where it was a roadside memorial. And he was like, you're the first person I've seen that does roadside memorials. And but I like I took the compliment. I was like, thank you,
Yeah.
and we
He's
kind of
awesome.
hit it up like that. So
Yes.
when he goes live, if I'm on there, he sees me, he's like, Eddie, what's up, man? And he greets me
That's
like
cool. Very cool.
we've known each other yesterday.
Yep.
You know,
I follow him too.
I do too. I follow him and Jawan.
Yep. Yep.
So both of them. I
Yeah,
mean, they
they're
still do stuff, but not all the time.
Yeah. I
You
wish
know?
they would get their show back out, because I loved it. I adore it. And I've had several people in the paranormal field, like Katie Stafford. He's a good friend, and he's been on the Ghost Brothers show with them. He's the one that invents all the equipment and stuff. And he told me that they are three of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and so fun to investigate with.
Yeah, I can believe that. I really can
I do
believe,
too.
so I would love to meet them.
Mhm.
I
You and
really
me
would.
both. Yep.
Um,
I will suggest that to Brad and Barry. Hey, why don't you get the Ghost Brothers for your next conference?
they did once. Well, actually, was it them? I think it was just Dale and Spratt. But I know they went to the USS Lexington,
Okay.
and Dale and Spratt was there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I remember that because the Kling brothers asked if I was coming. I was supposed to went to that, and we were having car troubles then. But you know,
Gotcha.
I was told this because, and it kind of made sense, even with recent.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes you're held back for a reason.
That's right.
And then uh, if there is a higher being that's holding you back, then when things are supposed to come to play, they will.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Such as when our car broke down when I was supposed to go to meet with them at the USS Lexington. Our car had broke down.
Mhm.
And it was funny was after we got it fixed, it was like on the next day after the event, everything was fine.
Yeah.
I've had no problems.
Mhm.
You know,
So,
and
yeah, I don't believe in coincidence. There was a reason that you were not supposed to be there.
right. And so that's how I took it. There's a reason why these things,
Right.
chain of events are happening because once because everything is starting to fall into play now. Now we have the transmission, we just got to get it put in.
Right. Right.
And as a matter of fact, I want to thank all my members. Thank you so much. But there's a couple people that actually put in to really let us get that transmission. And I really appreciate that. So that part is done. The transmission is sitting in our garage. All we
Awesome.
got to do now is just get it put in. And once we get that put in, it's a wrap and we can go on travel again.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
and what you said is true though. It
Mhm.
has, and I thought I'd just bring that up because I just kind of found it kind of odd.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but every time it's when we want to go somewhere, something happens
Mhm.
that holds us back. And my wife says, well, maybe we weren't meant to go here right now.
And she's right. Jen is right. Yep.
So I have to take it like that. Take it as a
Absolutely.
great song.
Yep.
I was telling someone else today, Michelle, you had Michelle on last week, Eddie, and I watched that video again, and nobody knows what it is. She felt it was an angel. Someone else in the comments thought it was a fairy, who thought it was this, who thought it was that. And then I was like, I watched it and I slow-moed it, and in my head I got this picture of a butterfly. And I'm like, I wonder if that's a spirit of a butterfly. So then I asked my guides, can you draw me, if it's a spirit of a butterfly? Because I have this app and they can mess with the AI and then it will give me pictures. So I'm like, and it showed me this gorgeous butterfly with like stained glass wings. So I thought that was crazy. So I, commented on her video, and she's like, I I still think it's an angel, and I go, that's what is so great about paranormal.
Oh yeah.
That one entity to you was your angel. To me was this gorgeous butterfly I had to see. To someone else, it was their fairy, and it made them believe in fairies.
Yeah.
That one entity gave so much to so many, because that's what they needed on their journey to see at that time.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's so great about people sharing paranormal and everything. It doesn't matter if you think it's one thing or I think it's another. We're supposed to see what we're meant to see at that time for our journey.
Agreed.
So,
Yep. Absolutely.
Keith, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. And I have to do this too. Because Keith, thank you for sharing the member.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you so much, Keith. We really do appreciate that. Keith is so
Keith is
wonderful.
great.
He
Keith is
really
great.
is. He really is. Let me ask you. I wanted to ask you another question, but Brandy's not here because I want to ask you both the same question.
She'll come on. Just catch her another time. She'll come on with you.
Yeah, I will. I'll make this a part 2. So we'll have part
Sure.
1 of this being Krista. Part 2 will be Brandy.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna save that question. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna save this whole list because
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you the exact same question.
Awesome.
If your podcast had a ghost mascot, what would it look like?
What would it look like? I would say more like along the lines of like a Ghostbuster, something friendly because we welcome everybody, nothing scary or anything like that. We don't want to, we try not to like cuss and say things like that. So we try to be where kids can watch. So,
Right.
we're open to everything. So I would say something like a friendly Casper or the Ghostbusters theme or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Or the big marshmallow man.
That too. Yep, that'd be a one
They-
too.
do your families think you're brave or just a little touched?
So I have my family, my extended family, they know what I do. A lot of them are scared of it, which is fine. But they don't want any part of it. My kids know what I do. I've taken actually they've all four of my kids have been ghost hunting with me before at different places.
Mhm.
So they're all open to it, so they don't think I'm as crazy as like my extended family. They've been with me, all of them have at one time or another. So
And you know what? Don't feel bad because my family thinks, I'm two sandwiches short of a picnic,
Yep.
because of what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because I believe a lot differently. A lot of my family like go to church, they're part of the Catholic Church. And I'll tell you guys, my cousin passed away in February, and my cousin was more like a brother to me than my cousin. And he actually committed suicide, unfortunately, but he just had a lot of inner demons going on. And he had wished, he almost died 3 years ago, and he wished that he would have, because he's seen his dad. He was going into the light, but the door shut, a door shut on him, and he was mad at the world for the last few years that happened. So he wanted to go, and so it was the night of his funeral. I got in the car. It was after the funeral. I get in my car, started up, and the song "Freebird" by Leonard Skinner came on. And
Good song.
if you've ever listened to the words of that song, that was him. I mean, and so now to this day, when I hear that song, I think of him, just because like the words it just hits, with what he was fighting and where he's at now,
Right.
So and then since then he's it's funny, but like I have a 15-year-old daughter, and she had a friend spending the night. One of her friends was my cousin's great niece.
Mhm.
And so she was here at the house, and it was at her birthday, and somebody had brought her a big bag of candy. And so they had opened it and they had been eating some of it. Well, then another girl had asked Ava if she could have some of her candy, and she went to get in the bag. The bag was sealed shut. So she did a video, and she said to me, she's like, "Mom, I'm telling you, we ate candy out of this bag." And so that something like that is something that my cousin would do just to mess with her. And then it was funny because after that, so I came home. I was the only one here, and I had some groceries. So I brought in a handful of groceries, put them in the kitchen, and went back to go out my front door, and the deadbolt was turned. And so that's just like pranks that he would do, and he used to give me a hard time, and in a loving, fun way about the paranormal. He was not against it at all, but he was scared of it. He didn't want anything to do with it. So a lot of those type of pranks, is something that my cousin would do. And so one thing I do believe, like your loved ones are around you, like we talked about earlier.
Yes.
I have no doubt that that's my cousin Bob. No doubt at all. My house is not haunted. It's just visited, sometimes by my loved ones.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Yep.
I feel the same way.
Mhm.
Melissa, thank you so much for being here.
Here comes the money.
Wrong one. Oh, my bad. I am so sorry, Melissa. I meant to give you this one. My apologies.
Acknowledge me.
And Greg Ogle said, what is it that? Greg Ogle said, yeah, when I told my family that I was a pole dancer, they were scared too.
That's Greg. That's something like he would say. And I have Greg and I have a little thing going on, and a lot of people know him as Moist, Mr. Moist. And
Right.
so just random word, and this is seriously how this started. Greg, we're good friends, and he just messaged me out of the blue one day, and it said moist, MOIST. That's it. That was the only word. And so since then, like we'll send each other back and forth just things with the word moist on it. And that's how he became Mr. Moist. So if you're in our chat and Greg's in there and you see people talking about moist, that's why. There's nothing nasty, nothing, anything like that. It's just a friendly thing that Greg and I've been doing for several years now.
Oh, I believe it. Greg is great people too.
He is. He's one of the
My,
best.
I was gonna say my grandson who just turned 3 actually was talking to my mother who passed away in 2012. And the reason why my daughter knows this is because he was fussing in bed, and my daughter left him there, and she's like, "Go to sleep. I'm not, you're just too much now." So she left him and she went in the living room to do something, and he was crabbing, and then all of a sudden he stopped and he was literally talking like nice to someone. And my daughter's like, "Who the heck is he talking to?" Right? So she peeks her head in, and he's sitting up talking to someone and like touching that person. Of course, nobody's there.
Mhm.
And then he says, "Okay, Nana," and he lays down, and he's still like rubbing like that person.
Mm-hmm.
He went to sleep. The only person that we ever called Nana was my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter's like, doesn't know, like she died in 2012. He never seen her. There's like no
Right. I can
or
relate.
whatever. So and some other strange things happened, which led my daughter and her husband to show the baby pictures of the
Mhm.
women who passed. His great aunt, his grandmother, and then
Yeah.
my grandmother, and then my mother. So in succession, she's like, "We'll do my my Nana last, so that, because that's who. So he looked at the pictures. He didn't say anything, and he was kind of then uninterested after the third picture. And then my daughter's like, "Wait, and this one?" He's like, "Nana," and he starts rubbing the picture like he was rubbing
Mhm.
the air when he was in bed. And she's like, "No." She goes, "Grandma was here visiting." I said,
Oh
"Yep."
yeah. They
He
do. They
loves
do.
babies, so I can imagine she's there a lot.
Oh
How
yeah.
old was she? How old was she?
He-
Or he?
My grandson's 3.
Yeah.
The kids see what we can't.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this just happened well, it's going to be about a month now. So yeah,
Mhm.
it was 3. Still.
That's so true because my grandson actually had we had a similar experience. I've talked about my grandma here with you guys, and my grandma died in 2012, and my grandson was
Yeah, my
born.
mother died.
Yeah, so my grandson was born in 2014, so he's what, 11 now. And but he was probably 2 or 3 years old, and he had told my daughter that my granny come in my sleep, see me in my sleep or something, generally along those lines. And my daughter had a picture of my grandma up because my kids were close to my grandma. And he pointed out, he said, "There, that's my granny on that picture." So yes, I absolutely believe your granddaughter was the same way with how my grandson was. And I feel like, they do visit their loved ones. They might not know them in life, but they know them after they pass. I fully believe that. And I think too, because children, it wasn't that long that they were there on the other side. You know what I'm
That's
saying? So they're
Right.
still open, there's still that veil there, and they were
yeah.
open to that. So
And,
I
and
fully
you,
believe that.
yeah, and you know what I thought was funny was that happened to my daughter's son.
Mhm.
When my father passed away, um, 5 days before my daughter was born. So my father passed away 5 days before my daughter was born. So when she was around 2, you know, I decided to show her some pictures. So I never showed her the pictures. I said, "This is my father, your grandfather.
Mhm.
He passed away before you were born." Thinking too, she doesn't understand. And I go, "You never met him?" She goes, "No, I seen him." I said, "Where'd you see him?" She goes, "He sings over my crib."
Wow.
When I was, yeah. And I was like, when I was younger and I hated the dark, he would sit in my room, hold my hand through my crib bars, and sing to me. So when she said
Awesome.
he'd sing over my, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I fully believe that. Fully believe that. Just because, it was what happened in my family too. So I think that happens. I think it's pretty common. And maybe there's a lot of kids that don't even think about saying anything because it's natural to them. They don't, they're not scared of ghosts or anything yet. So I think it
right,
happens quite often.
yeah.
Um, there, Dave, how are you doing there, sir? Welcome to the show.
Acknowledge me.
And Miss Donna Cantor, I am so sorry. I've noticed you was here and I didn't even say anything. My apologies.
Acknowledge me.
And Dolls Dolly, how are you doing, ma'am?
Acknowledge me.
Now you have been acknowledged. Let me see. Well, I already asked that. Um, outside of chasing ghosts, what do you see? This is why I need to ask both of you. I'm gonna ask you separate now.
Okay.
Outside of chasing ghosts, what do you like to do for fun?
I like spending time with my kids and my granddaughter and all that good stuff. I would say family.
That's good.
We we are eaters here, so we like to go out to eat and that kind of thing. So I do that a
I
lot.
noticed
And
that you had that you had the little back the fire in the back what was it last week? What was that? What is it called? Bonfire.
bonfire, yes,
Yes.
yes, yep. Do that too. I love sitting out. I love to be outdoors. I love the outdoors, just sitting around the fire, and that's why I'm looking forward to to fall coming. Hoodie weather and drinking hot cocoa around the fire. That's
See,
fun.
I love doing that. The last time we did a bonfire, we were actually living on a campground because we were homeless.
Oh wow, wow,
I kid you
wow.
not. We were homeless
Hmm.
at one time, but we were homeless on purpose. Hello, fallen angel. How are you doing, ma'am?
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, we were homeless on purpose because we were saving money to come to Texas. We were living in
Gotcha.
Ohio at the time, and we
Okay.
just wanted to get away. And so we were
Sure.
living on a campground. And
Hmm.
while there, we would help keep the campground clean.
Yeah.
So the owners of the campground, they noticed that because number one, we've already paid up to stay there. And
Hmm.
but they noticed we always kept the campground clean. So they said, hey, you guys, since you guys are always cleaning the park, you guys can stay here for free.
Oh wow.
But we still paid anyway,
Yeah. That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
we thanked him for his kindness,
Hmm.
and he thanked us more than anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were homeless, and like I said, we were homeless on purpose because we were
You know
saving our.
what though? To me, that's not homeless. You had a place to stay. You were doing it, to be where you wanted to be, so I don't think you were homeless. You
No,
know,
we lived in an 8-person tent, and then we was driving a Pontiac Montana,
there
and
you go.
that was
Yeah,
our.
yeah, yeah. But you had a place to go and you had a roof over your head.
Yes, and the kids were a lot younger. They were
Yep.
like babies, really.
Oh
The
yeah.
only baby was really Manny, because Manny was what?
No, like 7, 5, 6, 7. He was 7.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Manny was 7. Tony was 8. Cody
Hmm.
was what, 13? And Des was younger than Cody, so
She was 10.
she was 10.
Hmm.
So yeah, but the kids loved it.
Oh yeah.
I took my kids camping when they were all babies. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Love camping.
Yeah, I've always taken my kids camping too. We've had different campers and stuff throughout the years.
Mhm.
We've stayed in tents and all that good stuff too. So yeah, that I love being outside. So I love to camp too.
So do we. And I never really did it until we were homeless, and it taught me a lot.
Hmm.
It taught me a lot about the outdoors, and we learned a whole bunch of stuff together as a family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it
Mhm.
was a great learning experience for me,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
And
Yep.
we're gonna do it again eventually, but not
Hmm.
homeless. We're just gonna go camping.
Yes.
Right.
Um, if you could ask a ghost one question and get a guaranteed answer, what would you ask?
Ooh, ask a ghost. One question. I would say, um, Well, that's not what you would ask a ghost. You'd ask more of a spirit. So a ghost, I would honestly want to know why do you stay here? You know, is there something blocking you from crossing, you know?
And that's a question I always ask when I do a spirit box session. I ask, why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to know that. You know, maybe there's a reason why they can't cross over. Maybe it's not anything because of them. Maybe, excuse me, you know, I've been in haunted locations where maybe another entity is keeping them there or something too, you know?
Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a question I would ask too.
Hmm.
If,
But I think they'd all have a different answer, which still wouldn't answer our question for everything because every
right.
case is different,
Mhm.
right? I mean,
Right.
the guy, the spirit across, I call him the neighbor's ghost, but anyway,
Mhm.
Addison, he stays there because he's waiting for his wife to pass, and he
Mhm.
will not cross over because he wants to go with his wife.
Yeah.
And I
There you
had a
go.
few kids who didn't understand when they saw the light and they just wanted to go with their family.
Mhm.
So they stayed behind with their family. And they're waiting for their family, right? And then I have others that just like missed their light and then was like, because they stayed with their wife a little too long or whatever, and they missed their light. It doesn't follow you
Mhm.
forever. So then they look for that's why so many of them look to us to come because they're like stayed a little too long or
Mhm.
now my whole family crossed. I waited for them and they crossed and I can't because you can't cross in someone else's light. So when his wife passes, he's gonna grab her and then he's gonna come here and he's gonna be like, "Hey, Chris, cross me over." you know, uh, that's what's gonna happen because you can't go into somebody else's light. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
each
I'm
one
reading from the chat.
has told me a different story. Like one guy just didn't want to go because, like you said, he murdered someone in life, and then he was not. He didn't want to go, right? And then I'm like, look, dude, first of all, I don't open the gate to hell or heaven. I open the
Right.
door to purgatory. Well, the waiting room. It's not really purgatory. It's a waiting room, and they
Mhm.
decipher what to do with you. And maybe you just want to do it,
Yeah.
and take what's given,
Sure.
And so he crossed over. I was always curious, like maybe well,
Mhm.
depending on where he went, I guess he can't come back and tell me yet. But if I'm still living, I would be curious to know like what
Mhm.
happened.
Sure.
I know my grandmother did something very bad, and every time, my aunt talks to her grandfather. She was very close with him. So she talks to him a lot. And she has a pendulum and she talks to him. And she always asks, like, where's grandma? And like, why is, grandma not here or whatever. And after digging to find yes or no questions, um, she's been in purgatory for the last 25 years for something that
Mhm.
she didn't make up for it yet. So it
Wow.
wasn't bad enough to go to hell.
Mhm.
She's doing her comeuppance, as they call it, right? Taking their comeuppance and they're working it out in purgatory. So we have yet to see her. So I guess when
Gotcha.
she's
Mhm.
released, then Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you people that are making up for something in purgatory or where they
Mhm.
don't get to come back and forth sometimes, like
Right.
so I've never met her, but
Mhm. Yeah.
I was reading some of the chat here. Carl was saying, I love camping, but my friends are all gone. So I'm gonna have to go solo. Hey, there's nothing wrong with camping by
Nothing wrong
yourself.
with that. Yeah.
Nothing. Um,
And be one with nature. Listen to the sounds and just sit out there and listen to the wind and the trees and the birds and the frogs and the bugs. And,
mhm.
there's nothing better.
That's better than listening to car
Absolutely.
horns and sirens and
Yep.
all that. I had to
Agreed.
find out for myself, listening to gunshots, like where we live. I'd
Mhm.
love to get out of the city. Believe
Sure.
me, I don't want my kids in this environment,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, we have to go with what we can afford.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
Donna Cantor said sometimes they don't want to cross over that they want to be close to their loved ones.
Mhm.
And that's true.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
And you know what? Even though if they cross over, they can still come back to you because that's how close you were. That's that your family.
Hmm.
Your family is always going to watch over you.
Yep.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
so and that's just something I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
but
too.
that's it. You have to believe it. And some people are so scared of the unknown. I mean, I still have them when they come to cross, ask me questions like, can we come back? I'm like, were you good? Like, that's the first question I ask. Were you good? Like, if you were a little iffy, you might have to do a little stint in purgatory, but then you can come back. Like, I have one child who crossed, but she likes to come play with my spirit guides, and my spirit guides are little. And she comes back and forth. Like, you have to go back. Um, I guess she says in our time it's around 72 hours. Their time is different. You have to go back and like energize and like check in.
Mhm.
Because the whole real purpose, from what I understood, and this is just from what I understood, guys, um, of crossing over, the most important part is to protect your spirit, right? And your energy. Um, to get more energy. It like revitalize and rejuvenates you.
Mhm.
Um, so you don't become a twisted human, because spirits that are here so long as spirits lose their humanity, and then they go a little nutty.
Mhm.
That's how they become really bad spirits. So, and to protect you, protect your spirit from the real bad ones who, like you say, can entrap you and suck
Mhm.
your energy out.
Sure.
So I tell them it's just better to cross over, and then you come back and forth, because
Mhm.
you don't want to get stuck where, in a situation you don't want to be in, like, um, so
Yep. Agreed.
yeah, so that's from what I understood from the spirits, because they can come back and forth, but they can't stay here for a long time. They have to go there, energize, and come back. So
Mhm.
Regina
yeah.
said, my mom will be gone for 3 years on the 27th of this month, and it's 10 years for my dad on the 6th of this month. Regina, RR's Adventures, you have our deepest condolences. I am so sorry for your loss, but just know that they are in a way better place than this, and
Yeah.
you will see them
Yeah.
again.
And two, here's my thing. I believe that, if you just think of them, they're with you. That's almost like calling them, so if you're missing your mom or somebody, just think about her. And I feel like, pay attention to your surroundings. I have my best friend from high school, her father passed away last year, and her mom they had been married for it was close to 60 years. He really was her life. And she told me, she says, well, he doesn't give me any signs. He doesn't, he's not around. I was like, I bet he does. You just have to pay attention to what's going on around you. We'll come to find out there was her she moved in with her daughter, but she had nice flower gardens and stuff. Well, there was dragonfly that kept coming every day. I was like, that could be your sign. Pay attention
Right.
to it, just something as
Right.
simple as that, or a song, or whatever, or a certain number you see, or you
Mm.
just have to be open to it, you really do. And pay attention to your surroundings, because I believe they all do come.
Yeah, a quick
Oh,
question, because I don't know how to pronounce your name. PSU Eden said, quick question. What about reincarnation?
I believe in reincarnation.
I do.
I believe at one time, and I don't know why, but I was always I've been attracted to Romania.
Mhm.
And I did a past life thing, and I was told that I was actually a peasant in Romania in a past life.
there you go.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, I believe in it too, only because like I met a spirit just
mhm.
fluke. She came from somebody I knew. I was talking to them, and she saw my energy, and she came over, and you know somehow she showed me, like, we were both duchesses in a last life. She was a duchess of one place, and I was a duchess of another place, and we met because for a meeting or something that our husbands had, and we met there. And
Mhm.
so we were married to dukes, I guess.
Yeah.
However that goes. But so I was like, and
Yes.
she's telling me, and I'm like, I get that, but I always felt that I loved everything Egypt. Mummies, whenever there was something going on at the museum with like Egypt, I would make my mother or father take me. Anything in school, I loved it. And someone did a past reading on me and said like that I was like this Egyptian princess or something. So I
Cool.
was like, yeah, I could get that too.
Mhm.
So
Um,
that's at least 2 lives I know of.
Yeah.
And
Miss,
my boyfriend Danny, well, Eddie and Jen knows Danny very well. He
Mhm.
worked in the paranormal for about 50 years, and he's like, I saw you once on the timeline as a male, and I'm like, I could get that too, like a male warrior. So I've been here a long time, back and forth. Yes, you.
Very cool.
I wanted to say, first of all, welcome Pancho. Is that Zork or Zorch?
Pancho Zorch, yeah, he's a friend. He's a good guy.
Okay, welcome Panko. Panko. I'm getting ready to call you Panko. Call you all out of your name. You know, so since I did that, I'm gonna give you.
Yep. Yep,
There-
we know Pancho.
Okay, and it sounds like he's a wonderful person.
Yep.
And Sue Eden, thank you, because it's the PSU is actually Sue.
Ooh, yeah, I
The
just read
P is
that.
silent.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, the P is silent. Thank you for educating me. Yeah, let me ask you this. If if Hollywood made a movie about your investigations, what would
Who
you
would play?
who would play you?
Oh, wow. Okay. Hmm. I can't think of her name. Oh gosh, what is her
I was
name?
gonna say maybe Jennifer Aniston.
Oh no, nobody that pretty. I would say
I'm not gonna downgrade you.
what is her name? No, I love her and I think she's hilarious and she's been in several comedy movies. She's a heavy set lady.
Oh,
And
are you talking about what's her name? Amy. What's her name? Amy. She just did. Oh, wait a minute.
she's hilarious. I
I'm
love
thinking,
her.
I'm thinking of Melissa McCarthy.
That's her. That's her. I would love for her to play me. I think she's awesome.
She is
I
funny,
love her
though.
movies. She makes me laugh. I'm chunky.
She's
She's
funny.
chunky. You know, the whole 9 yards.
But you ain't chunky.
A little bit.
I'm not. I'm a lot of bit.
Used to say to me
That's from
that
her good food.
We like Pete.
everyone used to say to me that the woman who played in that show, who played Lois Lane, that I looked like her. So
Uh-huh.
they're like, if you ever need someone to play you in a movie, you should get that lady. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
who was that? Margot Kidder?
Yes, that's who. Margot Kidder. Yeah.
Margot Kidder.
Yep.
I used to love Margot Kidder.
Oh yeah, she was pretty back in her day. You know when
She
she
was.
Mhm.
I used to like Shelley Duvall too.
Oh yeah.
You
Yep.
know, that look she had when she was on The Shining.
Oh yeah.
But then afterwards, it's like I don't want to be a movie star. If
Yeah.
it does that to you, oh no, I'm good. I am blessed. What haunted location is at the top of your bucket list?
So I have my bucket list that I've never been to.
Mhm.
I would say the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Ooh,
I want to go there. That is definitely on my bucket list. And number one, I love Colorado. It's a beautiful state. And so just to go there would be great. But then to go and do ghost things. And they say at the Stanley that they have there's a fish tank and they say that they have ghost fish. So I would love to witness ghost fish.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? If you was to go there, you would be the first one to even, film it. Nobody
If I
does.
could.
Nobody else
Yeah.
does.
That's
Because
what they say. The fish tank has ghost fish. So I think I'd love to see something like that.
Pancho said Hollywood is the devil. You're right, Pancho.
Yep, Pancho's
That's
right.
what they call it Holly Weird for a
Oh,
reason.
weird. Yep.
They call it that for a reason. Believe
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
If you could only bring one snack on a long overnight investigation, what's your go-to?
Okay, so I don't eat a whole lot on investigations because when you eat, you get tired, right?
Right.
So, however, I do have one downfall that keeps me awake at night, overnight, and that is Mountain Dew. That's the only time I will drink a Mountain Dew
I
soda,
love Mountain Dew.
and it will
Yes.
keep me up all night long.
Yes.
That's my one go-to. Every investigation. I had one last night.
I do drink Mountain Dew, so I
Yep.
will. Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure right there.
Mhm.
Um, do you think spirits like certain people more, kind of like how dogs or cats choose their favorite person?
I think yes, and because I think that if you're open to it, I think they know that. So they will come to you more so. Or, if it's your house they're in, they know you. So they might show themselves or be a little more active with you as compared to someone else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. That's a good answer right there. And my last one.
Mhm.
Do you believe you'll be a friendly ghost someday or a mischievous one?
I would say I won't be mean. However, I will come back to my friends and family and let them know that I'm here. So I would say mischievous like my cousin is.
Actually, that was going to be my question.
Mhm.
I was going to ask you that too. And that instead of that being the last one, I'll ask you this. This might be actually a two-parter. Um, because we all going to leave here one day.
Right.
Do you, and can I told my wife this all the time. I'm going to see her again, her
Mhm.
and the boys. And she keeps saying, sometimes she'll say, "How do you know? How do you know?" And I keep telling her because just like here, you have a right to choose
Yep.
where you want to go.
Sure. Free
Because
will.
we're a ball of energy, free will.
Hmm.
And that's how I know I'm going to see you again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and little Patty, I think she said, "Krista, if you wasn't a paranormal researcher, what would be your career choice?"
Hmm. So I really don't do it for a career. It's more of a hobby.
Right,
And
same here. This is just a hobby.
yeah. So, but I really like what I do as my daytime job, my 9 to 5 job. It's also involves helping people. I work for Community Action Agency of St. Louis County, and we help people who like are behind on their bills, and we help them get pay a water bill or an electric bill, or if they need help with rent, we help them with that, or prisoners who have just gotten out of prison, we help them find a place to live and a job, and we have a food pantry. So I actually really like what I do, and it's all about helping people still, because I love doing the paranormal and helping folks. And so my daytime job is the same, but just with the living.
Now, you know what's funny, and that this, see, I sometimes, and I say this also, God brings people together for a reason.
Hmm.
What you do is something that we always do.
Hmm.
Uh, we always go out and we help.
Our job.
But we just do it on our
Yeah,
own.
that's
We
awesome.
we go out and we help people that needs food. You
Yep.
know, if we can, we try to get them like the last family we had live with us. We
Hmm.
had got them food stamps. We got them a place to stay.
Oh,
They got their what is it called? The SNAP benefits.
yeah,
So,
That's food
yeah,
stamps.
oh, is
yeah,
that okay?
yeah.
But we did all this, and we didn't know these people,
They
but
live.
they lived. We had them live with us,
Wow, wow.
so that we can get all these services for them. We ended up getting a place to stay,
That's
and
awesome.
we do this all the time.
Yeah,
We're always helping people in the community.
yeah,
We cut grass,
wow.
and we don't charge nothing. We just
Yeah,
cut grass,
yeah. Well, it will come back to you. It
right?
absolutely
And
will.
I believe in that. I believe in that,
Yep.
and we want that strong, that good karma.
Mhm. Oh
That's
yeah,
why we do this stuff.
absolutely.
We Regina, have a great night. We do this all the time. We're always giving food to people. We go to food pantries, but then
Mhm.
what we do is with the food that we get, we already know who the family we're gonna give it to, and we give it to them. I don't film that stuff because that's a personal thing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's why we don't film it.
Yeah,
We want to keep it like that. I don't
Oh,
need to
sure.
prove nothing, because
sure.
what we're doing is just we're helping. We're
Yeah,
just
what
showing
it's
love.
about. You know,
And
we've done that too. My husband does a thing that's called Horses Carrying Hope. And it started out that he
what's
would
this guy at home?
uh-huh.
A
And
hoe?
so Hope, Hope.
Oh, I thought he said a hoe.
No,
Horses
Horses
carrying
Carrying
a
Hope.
hoe. I was gonna say
Yeah.
horses carrying a hoe.
No, Hope. But and that started out, he would just ride to the grocery store and buy whatever would fit in his saddlebags and then ride it to the food pantry. And then just to see the people and the kids would light up, you know, of getting the help. And you know, it might just be, you know, a little something, but you know, it does help people, and you know, that's what it's about. So
That's
I
what you're right, it is.
it is. And you know, not everybody can afford to give in that way. And that's okay too, because you know, I think just being nice and you know, even telling someone to have a good day, that's all good karma too, you know?
Right, and that's the only thing that we try to spread. Uh,
Yeah.
Janet Sardo had something up here. Let me scroll back up here. I'm sorry, Janet, I've just seen this. My mother passed away 21 years ago today. On
Oh,
my
I'm sorry.
oldest niece graduation day, my sister took a picture of my niece in front of a window, and my mother's image was in the windows behind her.
Wow.
See, that goes to show you that your loved one is always there. Just because
Absolutely.
we can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. You
Yep.
might make a mistake and take a picture of them, and boom, there they are.
Yep. And pay attention to your body, because your body will tell you too if your loved
Yes,
one's there. You know what your mom felt like. And if you get that feeling, then you know, I believe your mom's there.
right. And so, but like I was saying before, that's what we try to do is spread love,
Yeah.
everybody to the community. And I practice that all the time.
Mhm.
Practice it with the boys, and now they understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like that song said, what the world needs now is love, sweet
Mhm.
love. We really do.
Yeah.
In the worst way. We really
Yep.
do. If we could all just band together and help one another and show love,
Yep.
you know, and it's just the smallest thing, the smallest gesture
Sure.
you do.
Yeah.
Believe me, it goes a long ways.
Absolutely, it does. Yep. Yep.
Anybody has any other question for Krista? This will be part one
Mhm.
of our interview,
Yep.
and will be a part two. We'll
Yep.
talk to Brandy with the
Yes.
same questions,
Awesome. Awesome.
and hopefully you can be here for that one too, Krista.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I enjoy you guys, though. You guys are just great people. You really, truly
You
are.
you are too, and I thank so much uh for just not only meeting you,
Mhm.
but really getting to know you.
Absolutely.
Because
Likewise.
it means a lot to us because
Yeah.
we're not the type of people that get out and go out and socialize this, that, and the other.
Good people.
You know, Jen doesn't do people very well, but then
Mhm.
the people that she does do,
Yeah.
she gets a good feeling from them. And when she
Oh,
gets,
sure.
her feelings are always right.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Well, I was fortunate enough. I gave Jen, we hugged Jen
you did.
when we met.
Yeah, in fact, I think y'all
Sure
about
did.
almost the same height.
Yeah, we are. We're both short.
There's
So,
three short women on your panel.
but
I think I'm only an inch taller than Jen.
really,
I'm 4'11", so.
Oh, you're like my
Uh,
daughter. You're 4'11". I'm 5'1.5".
I'm the tallest, then I'm 5'2".
There you go.
oh, there you go. I'm sorry, Jen. But that's okay. We got some nice door prizes for you, man. 007 Kevin, thank you so much for being here, even though we're getting ready to shut her down. Anybody has any question for Krista before, because she's got a busy day tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and she don't need to be bothered by us.
I have shows every night this week, all the way until next Saturday, except for Wednesdays, my night off.
Oh, really?
Mhm. Yep, starting tonight all the way through. So
I am so sorry. I caught you at the right time, but I
no,
don't.
no, don't be sorry. I enjoy doing these, and so yeah, it's all good. I'm doing other people's shows this week. So
So hey, I got her link right up there in the chat. Go by, check out Blondes and Boos. Check out their live streams. I guarantee you guys, you will not be disappointed, especially if you haven't checked her out before. This is your chance, and believe me,
Yep.
you won't be disappointed. The Boomer said, "Guess I missed it all." It all depends
Go
on
back
what's.
and watch the replay, Boomer.
Gotta watch the replay.
Yep.
Again, thank you so much, Krista, for being here, and I also want
Really,
to
thank you for having me.
thank you, Christina, for being here. Everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. We love you guys. Thank you to our Facebook groups. There's so many of you. We love you regardless. Thank you so much. And if there's anybody that I missed, we love you. Let's do us a favor. Let's keep spreading that love, because, and as a matter of fact, make sure you guys put your channels in the link before we leave so that everybody can come by and show you some love. Because that's the best way to get. Kelly, we love you, Kelly Lavoy. We love you. Thank you so much again. Thanks. Let's thank Christina. Yeah, Christina and Krista for stopping by. There will be a part 2 of this. We'll be talking to Brandy. We're going to ask her the same questions, and hopefully Krista can come here for that one. That ought to be fun. That should be really fun.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
So again, thank you guys. You guys have a great night. We love you.
You.
And until next time,
You guys
stay
too.